Hello, I'm Laura Denton with freesewingtipsandtricks.com. Let's look at something that a lot of seamstresses ask me about. This is called a serger. Why do you need a serger, and what benefit can you have by owning one? Sergers have pretty much revolutionized home sewing because they knock out so many steps in your sewing projects. You no longer have to worry about using pinking shears or trying to tediously zigzag the edge of fabric. The serger will put a locking stitch in it, sew your seam, and finish your edges at the same time. So if you sew a lot, if you plan on sewing a lot, a serger is a very good investment. Now this particular one that I use costs about between $350 and $400. So you need to keep that in mind. If you'll notice, this has 4 spools of thread in the back. You can thread this with only 3 threads, but if you do that, all it's going to do is finish your edges. The 4th thread is what gives you your actual sewing stitch, your locking stitch. So if you're going to piece things together, you need to use a 4-thread serger. Now let me show you a little bit about how it runs. It has some similarities to a sewing machine. You've got a foot you've got to raise and lower, but when it goes to stitch, it's going to put a lot of stitches down at the same time. So you can kind of see from this stitch, you've got a locking stitch at the bottom, and then you have all those other threads that have finished your fabric. What a wonderful thing to have. You don't have to worry about fraying anymore. This particular machine has about 1,200 stitches a minute, so I can knock things out on this machine much more quickly than I can a standard sewing machine. So for instance, let's say I just want to make a small pillow. You saw that I made one edge. Let me just show you how quick it is to do with this machine. I'm going to go to the other edge now and do it. Notice, by the way, that I have no pins. You do not want to use straight pins on a serger. It will eat your machine up big time. So don't use straight pins. Okay, and now I'm just going to do the side. I'm going to leave a little hole in this side so I can flip my fabric out. Notice as we're going that it's also cutting the fabric as it's sewing the stitch. Take a little detour there, and then I'm going to come back in here and finish this seam. Because the corners have gone across each other, you don't ever have to worry about tying off or forming a knot. It's all done for you. Now all I have to do is turn this little puppy inside out, and I have made a pillow. And just that quickly, just that simply. If you don't have a serging machine, it's well worth looking into. It's an excellent investment if you plan on sewing a lot. This is Laura Denton with freesewingtipsandtricks.com.